Detroit, welcome back to the family.
Good morning, family. Good morning. This is 15 Minutes of Politics with Cynthia A. Johnson, and you're listening to us on Gospel 1440 WMKM Reborn. This morning, we're going to talk briefly about Michigan nonprofits, how to start a nonprofit. Now, I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to give you some tips and give you information where you can find how to start your nonprofit. The reason that I decided to do this show this morning was because there was a good woman in our community who wants to do wonderful things for people who are homeless. She has been giving blankets and gloves to individuals who are in need. However, after I checked out the name of the organization that she said that she was a part of and found that there was no organized organization, I had to put that on hold. I am suggesting to all of us, and there are many people out there who want to start a nonprofit or business, a for-profit business, but we have great ideas, but we don't have done the proper steps. So before you start a business or a nonprofit corporation, let's do things that are in order, and especially since you are trying to start a nonprofit. You see, when you do a nonprofit organization, the purpose in part of a nonprofit is so that you can get a tax-exempt status. Now, in order to be a nonprofit, you don't necessarily have to apply for your 501c3 or your 501c4, but you won't get the ability of not receiving tax exemption. So, we are going to start off with giving you some tips.
And today I'm going to go over how to start your nonprofit. Step 1. You've probably spent a lot of time already thinking about your nonprofit, the mission you're going to accomplish, the programs you're going to develop, possibly the products you're going to create, the board you're going to have for your nonprofit. But the first thing the state's going to want to know before you do anything is, what is your name? In fact, for some states, this is so important, they're going to have you pre-register your name prior to filing your articles of incorporation. So step 1, pick out your name and make sure that no other entity or organization in your state is using that name. Step 2, it's time to incorporate. Filing your articles of incorporation with your state is different from state to state, but it's basically a pretty easy step. In fact, in some states, it's too easy. Some states just ask for your name, your purpose, your founding members, your location, and that's it, which seems really simple. But if you're trying to get your 501c3, then you're going to want to make sure that you have other things included in your articles of incorporation. The IRS is going to want to see a dissolution clause, as well as specific language about your purpose that qualifies you for 501c status. Step 3, create your organization's bylaws. Bylaws are basically your organization's internal affairs guidebook. They should cover things such as electing board members, electing officers, membership and meetings, books and records, as well as a couple things the IRS are certainly going to want to see, which include an indemnification clause, which is basically a hold harmless clause for your board of directors. So if something went wrong at the organization, your board could not be sued, and a conflict of interest clause. This clause will basically assure that you are not an organization that is set up just to hire your friends and relatives to pay them a salary that they may not be qualified for. When you fill out your 501c3 application, the IRS is certainly going to want to know about your conflict of interest clause. Step 4. Time to hold your first official meeting. Chances are you've already had several meetings organizing your bylaws and discussing your mission, etc., etc. But now it's time to adopt those bylaws. This will be your first meeting on record. During this meeting, you're going to adopt your bylaws, elect your officers, and designate your principal office. Other things you may accomplish at this meeting include designating someone to open your bank account, designating someone to file your 501c3 application, and also you'll have an initial report that you'll most likely have to turn into your state within the first 6 months of your existence. Step 5. It's time to create your corporate binder. It sounds pretty formal, but it's actually pretty simple. The corporate binder is just what it says. It's a binder full of your corporation's documents. These documents include your articles of incorporation, your bylaws, your meeting minutes, as well as any business licenses you may be required to have, permits, and your annual or biannual state reports. Now it's time for Step 6, filing your 501c3 paperwork to the IRS. This application can range from 10 to 14 pages, and that's not including the many attachments you'll most likely be including, which would be your bylaws, your articles of incorporation, as well as any financial records you might already have. Expect to spend a good week gathering all the information you need for this document to be sent in. It's Form 1023 with the IRS. So there you have it, the 6 steps to creating your nonprofit. Go over it again. 1. Pick your name. 2. File your articles of incorporation. 3. Create your bylaws. 4. Hold your first meeting. 5. Create your corporate binder. And 6. File your 1023 form for 501c3 status with the IRS. All told, going from Step 1 through Step 6 can take a year or more. So be patient with the process, be thorough, be diligent, because what you're creating is going to be amazing, and it's worth the wait.
Okay, so he went over some steps, some very important steps. Let me say this. If you are in the state of Michigan, it's really simple. I mean, to file your articles of incorporation, but like the first thing you need to do is come up with a name that is not already taken. A name of your corporation. That's Article 1 within your articles of incorporation for nonprofit corporations. Then in the articles of incorporation, you have Article 2, which is the purpose or purposes for the corporation that you're organizing. Make it real simple. 1, 2 lines, something that is going to be catchy, something that you can just sprue out immediately. Article 3 within your articles of incorporation. It's also going to ask you something like the corporation is organized on a membership or directorship basis. And that's going to depend on how you want to organize that. Do you want just the directors to make decisions, or are you including your membership to make decisions? Article 4, it says the name of the resident agent at registered office. The name of your resident agent. If you are the founder, understand you are not the owner, but you are the founder, the person who has this idea. You can use your name as the resident agent. I understand that we have a caller.
Hi, Cynthia.
Good morning. Good morning. Who am I talking to?
This is Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
What I had a question about, I heard about the name of the corporation.
Yes.
And the name that I have, a lot of people have that name, so I should change my name.
You know what you can do? You can go on the state website and you can, there is a link that shows you or takes you to other names to find out if that name is available. So go on the state website, find out if the name is available, and you may have to tweak it a little bit.
Okay. And then another question I had was, as far as the donations that come in, how do you report them, like, as far as like the net worth and different things like that, like to the IRS? Because if someone donating products or merchandise to you, how do you keep a record of that to report it?
I am going to give you a phone number because I am not an expert per se. I'm not an expert at all. But let me give everyone a phone number, and I'm sure that they can help you further.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, hold on just 1 second.
Sure. 517 241 6470. Now, that is with the state of Michigan, and I'm trying to find the phone number for IRS, but if you call that phone number, I'm sure that they can help you with that question that you're asking about.
Okay.
Okay? And I hope everything works out well for you. I know you're doing a good thing. You are the person who's giving out blankets to those who are in need. And like I told you yesterday, we have to do things in order. We just need to get our ducks in the row so that we can be about our business. And we only have less than 1 minute. So thank you, Karen, for calling.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. So then Article 5 within the Articles of Incorporation would be the names and addresses of your incorporators. Now, you have to make sure that you get some people on board who's willing to work and help you. And it's also important to know that the IRS frowns on family members being as your incorporators because they want to know that the people who are on board are not self-serving. Anyway, that's just a little bit on nonprofits. You have listened to 15 Minutes of Politics with Cynthia A. Johnson, and you're listening to us on Gospel 1440 WMKM Reborn. God bless.